Yeah, baby. It's how we're starting off this weekend.
Timmy, you can't yell like
Yeah.
that. Our
SOS.
earbuds are present.
They can catch it on the next pod, dude.
Proof.
Put her down, trap.
Tell me it's a Michelob.
That is Michelob.
Nice, dude.
Nice, dude. Watch some cows, baby.
Less calories, more taste. All for the same price.
Tim, if you're going to put it on the pod, you got to explain why I'm doing it.
Trapper's doing this because he sucks at fantasy football.
Hey, how about you don't be mean to the guy? He's 0-5 in our league too, okay?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, dude, don't say no and then be like, yeah, he's also 0-5.
He's got bad luck.
Trapper scored the least amount of points in our fantasy football league. So he has to shotgun a beer. Anyone that scores the least amount of points per week. Yeah, dude. My phone's probably like...
Let me know when you're ready.
Go for it. Nice, baby.
Represent.
Snorkel them down.
Ow.
Smoking beers.
I'm willing to bet you don't have a trash can down there.
I brought it back.
Dude, I fucking...
Nice,
this
dude.
guy. He's...
Start your engine! Welcome to the Porch Beer Sports Podcast.
Left side!
What a hot start. We'll put that in there. That's for fucking sure.
Hell yeah. That's the way to start it off, boys.
Week 6 back at it.
Trap.
Oh. All right. So, Tim's, I see you wanted to... I see you wanted to say something about what the fuck was that fantasy news?
Yeah, boys, we're gonna start a new our new category for each episode. It'll be it's called "What the fuck was that?" Week 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you got? What was your what the fuck you?
What the F was that for fantasy news? Is what the F is the Cleveland Browns, man? What are they doing?
You know what's funny about the Cleveland Browns?
Deshaun Watson is absolute garbage, dude.
Dude, he's terrible.
You know,
like cannot complete a pass, can't do anything.
You know,
dude,
40% of Amari Cooper's targets are uncatchable.
I was just about to say that.
And I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like I watched the game and I was like, maybe he's getting like sacks. Maybe he like is getting like rushed and nobody's open. No, he's just holding the ball and then they're coming in and then he just tries to make a play and it looks terrible.
I agree.
It looks horrible.
And
their run game is terrible. Like nothing is working.
And I thought their defense was actually going to be like a standout this year. Not a standout, but like their strong point at least.
Yeah, shout out to Mark for trading me them.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, dude, and I got you in Njoku, who got the first ball of the game and then nothing else and re-injured himself.
Yeah.
I'll take Evan Ingram from it, dude. Technically, he's done more than Evan Ingram since I traded him to you.
I traded you again this week, and I definitely didn't win the trade, and I'm well aware of that, but I'm just tired of my team.
Hey, but
like 0-5 is such a bad start.
To add on to the what the fuck deal, why the fuck isn't Joe Flacco starting somewhere in the NFL? Because in that trade, Josh Downs is a damn good wide receiver when Joe Flacco's at the helm.
Do you know where he needs to go?
New England?
Miami.
Yeah. No, Miami.
Dude, can you imagine Joe Flacco, who loves to just air it out, has nothing to lose with Tyreek and Waddle?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have to worry about
Tyreek. Also hurt, but whatever.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I mean, if you're the Dolphins, why don't you make a quarterback move? Like, I get Tua's probably going to come back, but why don't you go see Garrett Wilson's backing up Bo Nix in Denver? Like, why don't you go see that guy's got a cannon? Why don't you just go see what's going on with that guy?
I don't know. I don't know. But second topic for what the F was that? We got the Bills offense is starting to look like crap. Dude, what they went 9. So. Josh Allen went 9 for 30. Did you know that? He went 9 for 30 in that Houston game.
It was about. Did you know that he?
Dude, I saw that stat today, and I was like, "What the F,
dude? Oh, what the F moment?" And that is a guy gets knocked out, and they're backed up on their own goal line, and then they air it out 3 times. Just
yeah. What is that? And then they just punt the ball away, and they go down. The Texans go down and they kick the field goal, right?
I'm not actually.
The Texans had to move the ball like 10 yards to get in field goal range.
Yeah, that was.
What are they doing?
That not good play calling. Oh, Timmy's gone.
lost T. Dude, I
Timmy
got
has
a
hurricane Wi-Fi right now, dude.
what the F thing that I learned today.
What's that?
Hunter Renfrow is unsigned.
Free agent. Yeah, there's a lot of teams that could use him.
Free agent.
Cowboys being one of them. So can
A lot of teams. I mean, Cowboys. I think the Rams could really look at getting him right now.
yeah. I mean,
Devontae Adams is a free agent.
well,
Dude,
yeah, he's a
I'm just
rostered
kidding.
free agent. That fool wants out. But
where do you think he's going?
hopefully the Jets. I think it takes the Jets to a next
Hopefully
level.
not Dallas.
And I think it helps Garrett Wilson if anything, because I don't think
I think it helped Garrett Wilson.
Why are the Patriots like even like a topic of where he can possibly go?
because we have a
What's
lot of
with that?
money.
Yeah, that's exactly. Does he
you say
does he
why
just
aren't
not
they?
want to go there?
Oh
Yeah, why aren't they?
Oh, we're not Timmy. We don't sign those kind of people. All right, we don't do those things. That's
Nice,
why,
dude. You
yeah.
guys are becoming the Dallas Cowboys. That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
It's
I can't
sick.
believe you guys are starting Drake May.
Well, dude, Jacoby Brissett just looks so bad. Like last week, it wasn't even like the pressure fault. Like there was a lot of pressure still, but he doesn't get the ball downfield. He misses a lot of open guys, and with like everybody being mad in the locker room, supposedly, you got to switch something up. Like when
I think that he's going to go out there. He's not ready. You guys don't have the right personnel.
no,
And
trust me, I'm on your
he's
team
not
here.
going to look good. And I really like Drake May, so I hope it doesn't ruin him.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
hope that
I think you
they
just
give
use
him a lot of time.
Jacoby Brissett as a meat shield all year and be like, look, buddy, you're probably going to retire after this year, but we'll pay you for it. Like
Yeah.
it's just I don't think there's nothing to save. I mean, we're not
There
going
you
to
go.
win a playoff game or make it to the playoffs. So at this point, a middle of the pack draft pick is like not worth anything. You want to be ahead. Like you want to be in the top 10-ish, 12. I can't imagine we'd end that good. But like a top 6 and 7 draft pick is a whole lot different than a 16 or 17 draft pick in our situation.
It's also nice to be a top 7, knowing that you have a quarterback that you are developing.
Right.
I mean, now you can go after we lost him again. Now you can go after a skill position or even an offensive line position like the Chargers did this year.
Well, the thing that irritates
Granted,
me
he got hurt.
about that sucks. He was a dog too. But the thing that irritates me about the Patriots so much is like, say we are a top 5 draft pick. I don't even know if it's worth getting a skilled position with all of our cap space money. Like you draft a left tackle or someone solid on the offensive line just to get the security for Drake May. Then you go in free agency and you sign somebody like T. Higgins. You sign somebody that's looking for a number 1 opportunity, like.
Yeah. And then you could sign Hunter Renfrow cheap, and he's a solid number 2.
Dude, it's crazy. Yeah, right now he'd be our number 1.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
He's not a number 1.
No, absolutely not.
Your defense doesn't look bad is the worst thing.
Our defense is it forces turnovers.
They're on the field too much, so there's a lot of points scored against them.
Yeah, everybody's going to give up when you're on the field a ton. But if we force turnovers, we play well. Like against the Bengals, we played well, but it was because we weren't on the field all game. And then you get like against the Seahawks where we're just in a shootout really where we're trying to score field goals and they're scoring touchdowns and our defense is out there. Of course, they're going to end up winning a game like that.
Yeah. Or what about, the Broncos? Surprisingly good.
Very surprising, dude. They started off like shit. It's just that defense can hold it down where eventually the offense is going to get so many times when the defense forces 3 and outs or turnovers. The offense is going to figure something out. Bo Nix isn't a terrible quarterback. They have a decent offense.
Patrick Surtain with a pick 6 and then another interception.
Hey, dude. All right, waiver wire pickups heading into week 6. Trap, who's your number 1 pickup?
Looking this week, Dowdle was available from the Cowboys in most leagues that I'm in. Some people were still holding on to him, and I think that was good. I didn't believe in him whatsoever.
I agree.
But he's kind of clearly taken over that backfield. Zeke's done.
Zeke is, it's just such a young man's spot, and he's like, have you seen the videos of like his shoulder and stuff? It's like significantly smaller than his other one.
No, I haven't seen that.
I get where the hope's coming from, but that's what I said last week about Rico Dowdle is he's clearly like week to week becoming like their number 1 fella. And like they don't really have a run game at the moment, but if they can develop one, the Cowboys become that scary team that they were last year, in my opinion. Because
the hard thing is like even when they had a top 10 running back last year when they had Pollard, they didn't use him.
Yeah.
They're a pass-first offense. You want to have any receiver that they have. Dak, even though I'm not a believer in Dak, he throws the ball a lot.
Yeah. Well,
so it's tough to even have a running back from them. But if you can have a number 1 running back anywhere, I'd take any running back that's a number one in the league.
Right, like a Rico Dowdle is better than like a Tyler Algier in
Yeah,
fantasy wise. You know, like
exactly.
yeah. So yeah, I
Which
agree with that.
also, speaking of Tyler Algier, what is up with them using him?
Well,
What is going on there? You have a prospect that is arguably one of the best prospects in the league, and you're just like, yeah, let's sit him.
well, also, I mean, the Falcons used the number 8 like pick on Bijan Robinson, and the way they use him is he had outside, like his only run plays were 10 outside zone to the left run plays. Like you got to use him. Like he's versatile. You got to use him everywhere.
He's one of those running backs that shouldn't come out. I mean, to
Yeah.
be completely honest, he's a good blocker. He's good inside. He's good outside. He's good in the pass game. He's a good check down.
Yeah.
He should not come out of the game.
Yeah.
And they do not use him. He's very good in goal line scenario too, which is where they pull him. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense to me. I
Right.
don't know why they choose to do the things that they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. It's like take him out when he needs a break, and that's about it, sort of deal. But they
What I
said,
miss?
we're talking waiver wires running back. Timmy's been having technical
waiver
difficulties, but he's
Timmy,
gonna.
we're on Dowdle. How
Dowdle.
in waiver wires I picked him up this week because he's becoming the clear cut running back for the Cowboys.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Although Cowboys don't have a run game, so
Yeah.
Is-
Well, that was honestly, this was the first week that the Cowboys weren't down. So I mean, we do throw the ball. We have like 40 pass attempts a game, which is I think second in the league behind the Seahawks, I believe, or something like that. But yeah, I think we actually we started the run game early, which was a surprise because it's a good Steelers defense, and Dowdle just looked good. But I think they changed it up. It looked like this week we were doing some more of those like inside like zone runs, and I think Dowdle was a lot more explosive off that, and it looked a lot better. But like I said, I think clearly he is going to be Dallas's number one, and he should be. I'm not sure how great of a pass catcher he is. I haven't really got to see much of it, other than he did score that touchdown in the end zone by catching that ball, and it was a good catch. He did everything right. He rolled onto his back, so it wasn't going to be incomplete pass, touch the ground, and things like that. But no, I agree. I think Dowdle is a key pickup this week, and I think through on out, I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he'll put up numbers like Alvin Kamara this year or Saquon Barkley, but. I mean that's kind of impossible, but I think he's definitely a good flex option or a good RB2 for a lot of teams, especially buys coming up and injuries that just been
definitely a good flex start and a good like running back bye week fill in.
Yeah.
I think.
Who was your running back pickup or waiver wire?
So that was Trapper was talking Dowdle, and I was gonna say Tyrone Tracy from the Giants.
Yeah, he looked good,
especially if Singletary's staying injured. I think Singletary will probably come back and take the number one. I don't know how significant his groin injury is right now, but when Tyrone Tracy came in last week, he has explosiveness. He's young. He can catch the ball, run the ball, and the Giants don't have a whole lot to lose if they decide to give him like the number one option over Singletary. You know, like I think he has the best shot at coming in and actually taking the job.
Right. Actually taking the job, exactly. Yeah. I did pick. I actually have Singletary in most of my leagues. I was kind of keen on this year. I knew that he wasn't like gonna be super explosive and things, and I wasn't sure how great if he'd stay healthy enough. But I was as big on him because I knew the Giants weren't running Tracy real hard, and they weren't like too hyped about him in the preseason and the off season and things like that. So I did pick up Singletary, and I've been rocking Singletary, and he's been okay. I mean, he's had like some games where I think the Giants really needed him, and he just didn't show up in some of the games. But I think like I agree with what you said on Tracy. I think Tracy, he came in, he looked great, dude. He absolutely called out.
To have somebody on your team from the Giants, other than excluding Malik Neighbors, is you have to have somebody that gets fantasy points without scoring touchdowns. And to me, Singletary is more of a touchdown person, and Tyrone Tracy can get you more points with just receptions and yards.
Singletary.
Oh, Singletary. That fantasy football, or not fantasy, preseason football does not matter
at all.
Everything this year, they were like, Malik Neighbors isn't ready. Bucky Irving isn't ready.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
it's the easiest thing to say if you're on ESPN. You just like to be a hater. Like you can say that. They said that about Jamar Chase, that he can't catch.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to say it.
I mean, he did have a rough couple first games. Like his first game in the NFL wasn't like
I don't
the best.
actually. I don't know
Nice.
about that. I think he.
Yeah, I think he was.
I think.
Actually, I saw a thing today that in his rookie year, he is top 10 of all time.
Well, his first like game, and I think maybe 2 games weren't the best.
Well, I don't know. Part of me wants to say he popped off his rookie debut. Let me look it up. But like we could move on to
Hit it
wide
up, Jamie.
receivers.
Put him
What?
on there. No, my waiver pickup for the week for running backs. I have Tank Bigsby and I think Ty Chandler would be someone to look at. Aaron Jones went out with an oblique injury. In that London game, and he's Aaron Jones. It's just a little sketchy on like
Sorry,
everyone. What's that? Hello?
you're
Can you guys
cutting
hear
out.
me?
You're cutting out a little.
Oh, stupid. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you right now. But sorry, you
Okay.
were saying something. I'm assuming about Ty Chandler is what it sounded like.
Yeah, so I said Ty Chandler and Tank Bigsby were my key coming up. If I think my number one for sure was Tank Bigsby. Um, he's looking a lot better than he has been, and he did outsnap Travis Etienne. Etienne is dealing with the shoulder injury. He supposedly got hit again in that shoulder. So, but Etienne did have a great game. He did have a couple of big explosive runs.
Oh,
I think
1 second about Jamar Chase. His very first game in the NFL, like regular season, he had 5 grabs, 7 targets, 101 yards, and a touchdown.
okay, maybe he did ball out.
Timmy, I'm going to play devil's advocate about your waiver wire pickup.
About
Take
Bigsby?
this big. No, he outsnapped Etienne. He only looked good because he broke away from one run and he had a touchdown.
Yeah,
If
my
you
thing is just
outsnap,
he's not
I
outsnapping
think that he's
Etienne
just
and then the
not.
touches.
He's not as good as ETN. I don't think that the outsnapping is going to last. I mean, I get that ETN's dealing with an injury, but as soon as he's back,
Oh,
he's going
absolutely.
to.
So I'm on Trapper's side here. I think Bigby's a good pickup with Etienne going through what he's doing. But for what I think I see is I don't know if Bigsby can be the number one by himself. I think he needs an Etienne to open up Bigsby's sort of game.
Right.
Like, which it might be controversial, like compared to what everybody else is thinking. But what
Yeah,
I
no,
think,
I don't think once ETN's like healthy, I absolutely don't think I mean ETN's still a huge part in their pass game, and I think he always will be, and he's just a good football player, and
right,
I don't
and
think they're not going to completely cut him off. I just think ETN could possibly, I mean, every week like he's been putting up decent amount of points,
right,
even splitting snaps, so.
yeah,
I'm just
and
if he's out there and you're struggling, you come up buys and things. I definitely a waiver
yeah,
pickup would be ETN, and then or not ETN, Bigsby, my bad. And then my other one was Ty Chandler. Aaron Jones went down. The dude's old. That's what people were scared about, and he went down with an oblique injury. I was kind of big on Ty Chandler. I drafted him, and then I dropped him, and then I picked him back up again, and I dropped him, and I just been going through it. But because Aaron Jones looks fantastic this
he
year,
has played
I got
really
to give
well.
it to him.
Yeah,
He
If he
looks
can
great.
stay healthy, then Ty Chandler's
Yeah,
nothing. But I will give it to you that I watched that game after Aaron Jones went down. Ty Chandler looked good. They
yeah,
had him
and
involved in the pass
he's
game. He ran well. If
right.
if Aaron Jones isn't there, Ty Chandler is a clear number one.
yeah,
Oh, absolutely. And
yeah.
I
We
think he
we
is.
start.
He's their only number one for sure. But and that's my thing is this oblique injury, and I mean Aaron Jones is a little bit older, so I just don't know. They have a bye coming up, so it's a bye week. I want to if you have like a free spot or you don't you could probably sneak by like this week. I didn't have to. I don't. I'm one of those idiots. All my fab's already gone, so I didn't have to use any of my fab to get him and just to store him. And I actually tried to trade Trapper for him because
Yeah,
Trapper is the Aaron Jones
I was
manager.
about to bring that up
So
because
I
it was
mean,
not a good trade.
I just threw a trade out there, and I think people that are in that situation and coming in the next couple of weeks, if Aaron Jones can't get healthy enough to get back out there, I mean, I think Ty Chandler is a good option to trade to someone if you grab him for the Aaron Jones manager.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the Vikings offense does run a lot better through Aaron Jones.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen a whole lot of it running through Ty Chandler yet, but
No,
it's looked good with Aaron Jones for sure. But since they're on a
yeah,
bye week, the waiver wire you could probably let him slide. Like if you're picking up someone off the waiver wire that is on a bye week, unless it's some crazy name, then you're probably using your waiver wire wrong. In my opinion.
right. And I picked him up. He was like he was my fourth option on my waiver wire. Like I said, if you just have,
Yeah.
if you don't have, you could probably buy low, super low right now. I don't think most leagues you're probably not going to spend any fab on him. That's yeah.
I guess my next waiver wire pickup is similar. It's only in relation of someone being down, and that's Wan'Dale Robinson. Only if Malik Neighbors is down. He
Well,
Right.
looked
with
good.
with Malik Neighbors even playing, he was top 5 in targets in the NFL, but his
Absolutely.
usage.
He looked great.
I picked up Wandale this week, and Darius Slayton was Julio Jones, apparently. I mean, he got all the targets and everything, but Wandale made the most of his targets and receptions. So I do agree with you, Trapper, and he looks like a solid receiver, good route runner. He's a threat. So I
Yeah.
do agree with
Right.
that.
Yeah,
And
I
then
mean,
I
he
think
went
that it's a possibility
like
that
6 for
when
9.
Neighbors is back playing, when he's healthy, Wandale's still going to be a solid wide receiver too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Absolutely.
hopeful on that. I'm not a believer in the Giants offense whatsoever. I'm not a believer in Daniel Jones. I don't think he can win games. I don't think he can push the ball. But
Yeah. He's looked better though.
having good wide receiver two is always decent on your bench
Yeah.
in
Or
case
a
he
flex
gets
play.
injured or for bye weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
I think a lot of leagues that he got swooped up last week. He's in the sleeper apps. Wan'Dale Robinson's 76% rostered, so he's still out there to people. And absolutely, I would absolutely pick him up, and I would kind of piggybacking off of Trappers, and it's kind of the same deal. As I'm gonna talk about Darnell Mooney again. I think if Darnell Mooney, if for some reason if he's still out on your waiver wires, dude,
Dude,
you
if you
guys got to
can't
pick
be
him up,
creative enough to get away from Darnell Mooney, I don't want to hear
dude.
about it, man.
Hold
Dude,
on,
bro,
hold on.
At the-
I hate to say this because I was so against it. I'm gonna side with Timmy.
well, no, he's not a waiver wire guy anymore. He should be on
not anymore.
rosters.
No,
He
no.
is. He
He's
is a waiver wire
81%.
guy.
He's 81% owned in leagues now. But that's what I'm saying is he's still out there. For some reason, he's still out there. You absolutely need to go pick him up. From here on out, you could start Rondell Robinson. You can start Darnell Mooney as your wide receiver 2 for the entire rest of the year. I completely agree.
I think he's more of a
the
flex
Falcons.
play.
Yeah.
Well, flex play,
I think
wide
he's the
receiver,
week
maybe.
to week.
It depends. Like with buys and things, like if you needed wide receiver 2, I think Darnell Mooney is absolutely a great pickup for the rest of the year on that.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
he's a
the offense, Kirko Bangs, dude. They looked. I mean, it was. Don't get me wrong. It was a divisional game. It was a high scoring game last week, and we kind of figured that's what it was going to be. But I just felt like they looked a lot better. I think
we can't
him
base their
moving the
wide
ball.
receiver play off of last week with Kirk Cousins throwing for 500 yards.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
what a dog, dude.
Like
Even Kyle Pitts got a little piece of that.
yeah, Kyle
Yeah,
Pitts. I
absolutely.
dropped Kyle Pitts. Don't hate it. Picked up Kraft, but Kyle Pitts had 88 yards. But a lot of it was from his first catch of the game that had like a 40-yard reception. But so for
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts to get that amount of fantasy points, but for Kirk Cousins to have to throw for 500 yards for Kyle Pitts to get that involved, still kind of steers me
Right.
away from Kyle Pitts.
Absolutely.
But a tight end
My,
economy like right now is.
Yeah.
Mark, did you give a wide receiver yet?
Did I what?
Give a wide receiver? Yeah.
No, I was waiting to see if Timmy was finished talking about fucking Darnell
Sorry.
Mooney.
Sorry, dude. I just had to poke it out there because he's kind of on the same page as Rondell. Because Rondell's the same thing. I feel like everyone's
do
starting to pick him up, and he's gonna be like one of those targets for the rest of the year. But I think it's starting to get to that point of the year where there's not really like crazy waiver pickups. It's just buys and injuries and dudes going out. I mean, I know we had some big injuries on the wide receiver this today. Were announced was yesterday was Nico Collins is going to be out for a couple of weeks. Michael Pittman Jr. did something, and they just came out with today that he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. So I mean, I think this week, and this is I don't even know they were talking about this guy, which is crazy. Is Juju Smith-Schuster, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean,
Yeah, I'm out on that.
it's just because the Chiefs don't have a whole lot. I see where you're coming from on Juju. He had 7 grabs for like 100 something yards. A lot of it was from a big play. But the thing
Yeah, he went 7 for 8 with 130 total yards.
Yeah. Well, in that game, it was weird. I mean, the Chiefs had so many long distance second downs and third downs where they were picking them up, and it was coming off those plays of like how Juju was getting his yards, and it was just. I mean, I'm not going to hate on Juju, but he's not what he used to be, and I don't count on him
No,
ever
absolutely
doing that
not.
again this season.
I'm
I
just
hate to
saying,
But it's not.
there's if you're like you have to pick up a waiver wire on wide receiver, like there's not many options out there.
Are you picking Juju over Tolbert from the Cowboys?
Ooh,
That's
a
who
hard
my
one.
guy is. Is what
I
Justin
that
Tolbert?
yeah, that's a good pickup.
Are you picking Juju over Tolbert?
Probably not. I'm picking Tolbert. See, the big thing on how I'm not like huge on any other Dallas wide receivers. Like Brandon Cooks is a good pickup, whatnot. It's because other than CD, they do spread their ball around pretty well. And the other guy that other than Brandon Cooks that gets the ball is, I mean, we got Fergalicious, our tight end. But other than that, it's
You don't
Tolbert.
just get to say those things.
Fergalicious.
I hate
But
Ferguson.
Why do you hate Ferguson? Okay, that's a
I
different.
love
Okay,
Ferguson.
that's a
yeah,
different.
But
come on,
he
man.
lost me this week in fantasy
Oh, dude, you don't even
because
want
I
to
was
hear what I
playing
went
him,
through.
and they just couldn't have like 9 points. I
Bro,
think.
can we have a little breakdown on how Hunter lost the Trapper this week in our LBL, dude? That was
Dude,
you
brutal. Not gonna
yeah,
lie.
you
I texted him and I was like, I'm sorry.
what was the final score?
So
Trapper
what
Hunter.
happened is he had
Tim,
Let's
you're
see
lagging
here
on
what
us
the
here.
score.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, you're good. Just
he
you could
had
tell Trapper.
man, what was it? One of us had the defense in the Sunday night game.
You had
It
the
might have
Cowboys
been me.
defense. Yeah, you had Dallas's defense.
Yeah, I had Dallas's defense, and he should have flat out won that. Like he was up by like 2 points, ending the game, and then the last play of the game, the who Dallas play? Now I'm
The Steelers.
the
The Steelers.
Steelers. Yeah, so the Steelers last play of the game, they had already lost. Tried that, just pitch it around a bunch of times.
Some
Dallas
schoolyard
ends up
bullshit.
recovering it, and so I beat Hunter by 0.3
Oh, because of that play.
because of that. I was like, oh my
That's
god,
down bad,
It was
bro.
crazy,
it was
dude.
brutal.
So my fantasy. Sorry to interrupt this waiver wire talk, but my fantasy
No,
Monday.
you continue on the waiver.
Uh,
Absolutely.
But one second. My Monday night. So I had Chris Olave going up against Rashid Shaheed. I was up 14 points. Rashid Shaheed had 18. Chris Olave had 3. I ended up losing by a single point. So
It's brutal.
yeah, Rashid Shaheed's on the
Wow.
op list. But sorry, go ahead. So my wide receiver waiver wire to get back on track here is Justin Tolbert from the Cowboys. Brandon Cooks is out. Tolbert had a lot of targets. Dak airs the ball out a lot. Dowdle's a good pickup and gonna be the number 1 running back, but still a passing offense. And I mean, Tolbert didn't look bad at all. And with CD just acting up
10
all the
targets.
time and being mad at Dak, Dak would just might want to get the ball to Tolbert or like I don't know how much he's going to let that affect him. But I think Tolbert, even this week, I'm going to start him over Wicks in Green Bay.
Yeah.
I like that pickup. I don't mind it. I don't think it's a long lasting pickup.
No,
but I think it's good for this week.
that's what I'm saying. I'm playing him this week over Wicks because Kyron on my team has a bye week, and I just got to fill in for a flex play somewhere. I was gonna run Michael
Yeah,
Wilson.
I think he'll definitely be hit and miss when at least Cooks comes back.
Yeah, I agree.
But
with
like
that.
it's like anything
There's
we're saying
still
right now
options.
is just
Week 6.
You have to you got to pick up who you can pick up if you're missing dudes and you got buys and injuries just keep popping off left and right. It's freaking annoying. But it's fantasy football, man.
My
Stupid.
pickup of the week for tight end came today when Nico Collins news came out.
Dalton Schultz, baby.
Dalton
Yep, that's
Schultz,
a good pickup. So hear me out to back you up, Trap. Sorry not to interrupt you, but Nico Collins out. Texans play the Patriots. What if Gonzo mans up on Diggs? I mean, Tank Dell's not going to win him the football game.
He could. Tank Dell's good.
I know, but he's not that good.
I don't know, dude. I'm a believer in Tank Dell. I think that
me
he doesn't
too.
get the ball enough. but I think that
Well,
Schultz is such a good check down and get yards
Yeah,
after catch.
I love that
I
pick.
mean, even after contact, that dude is good at when he has the ball.
He's a
So I
very,
think that
very
people
good
focus
athlete.
more on getting him the ball. I don't even think it's for this week because I think playing the Patriots, they're not gonna. I'm sorry, Mark. They're not gonna have to throw that much.
No, hey,
I think that they're gonna go
no
up
need.
early, not throw it a bunch. But I think Dalton Schultz, until Nico Collins is back and they're pushing that ball downfield, he is gonna be a good check down.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that's a good tight end pickup.
no, absolutely. But the other thing on Tank Dell is he hasn't been the best this year, but people got to remember, dude, he like snapped his leg at the end of the year
There's a
last
lot
year.
of
He was
competition
on.
there too.
He was yeah, and there's a lot of competition there this year. The dude snapped his leg at the beginning of last or at the end of last year on a almost record-breaking year.
I was gonna say prior to that, Timmy, you and I had him, and
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
wins the week.
Oh
He
yeah,
was so good.
most of the times for sure. And then the dude gets shot in the off season.
He got shot.
Think Dell got
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, he got shot in the off season
Jackson
at
State
a club.
University.
Yeah,
Any
you
men?
didn't know? Yeah, dude, he got shot. And luckily it wasn't like I mean, I think it just got him in the like left side or his right side of his chest or something like that.
I don't care,
Um,
dude. Getting shot
Yeah,
anywhere.
it's crazy. It's crazy. And then he comes back and he already has been dealing with he already had to deal with an injury this year.
Well, he
right,
got shot,
So,
Timmy. Leave him alone, dude.
right. Yeah, and I mean, if Joe Mixon comes back, I think they'll lean a lot on Joe Mixon.
dude,
But
if
I don't
that dude
actually.
ever wants to play
I
football again,
don't
gosh
know.
damn it, dude.
Yeah, I don't
I
know that
think
Joe Mixon is ever going to take
The
another
dude is
step.
pissing me off.
Me too, man. Me too.
I think he might be just done. That
Just gonna.
he's older. He's had a lot of injuries. He's been good forever.
He was
I
good
think
this
he's
year.
Bro,
yeah,
he was like running back 2 or something through the 2 weeks that he did play. He looked absolutely amazing. I was pumped. I was big on Joe Mixon coming in the air. I just like I understand he was getting older, but I was just like I just don't see him just giving up. And I mean, he got paid a lot of money to go to to Houston. That's a great offense. I know he's happy to be there.
They utilize him
Yeah,
more.
I
I mean,
don't.
and the guys.
But there's just stupid high ankle sprains, man. They're just nothing you can play with. Like
Yeah.
that's a scary thing when anyone gets them. Like Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's still young, but like what I said last week, if he doesn't play, he didn't play last week, and he's still dealing with it. And they said it was a mild high ankle sprain. So you just got to when your players have those, man. It's just it sketches me out. It really does. To continue on the tight end. Um, my tight end pickup would be it's going to be Kraft from the
Oh
from the
yeah, if
Packers.
he's there, you have to snag him. I think he's a tight end to finish the season with
I would agree.
Yeah,
because
absolutely. I
he's on the
mean, he's
field all
tight
the
end
time,
one for
bro.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's on the field all the time. He's this year's Sam Laporta with the tight end economy that's going on here.
Yeah, tight ends are terrible this year. I can't find one in any league. I drafted Evan Ingram in 2 different leagues, thinking, "Oh, I'll just have a guy all year that I don't even have to think about." No, hasn't
Yeah.
been the case.
You can't even touch the
He had
fucking
like
field.
1 catch in the first game, and then he went out,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
he has not played since. I
That's-
might pick Evan Ingram back up because I dropped him, but
he's just a little bit older and dealing with those hamstrings
yeah,
at the
he's
age.
still not 100%, and they haven't
It's
even. They
hard.
said that he should play this week, but I'm like,
Yeah, but
anyway. Sorry,
Tuck.
off topic. Just
Oh, you're good. Tucker Kraft, snap percentage wise, yeah, his snap percentage wise, the lowest he's had all year is when they played the Titans at 67%. Other than that, he hasn't
well,
dropped
and
below
that
80.
was without Jordan
And
Love.
right, exactly. And they till I think this point they were they who's their they have another
Luke
tight end.
Musgrave.
Yeah, Musgraves. So I mean, he was technically sharing snaps with him, which
But not
is
sharing
insane to
routes.
have that. No, right, to have that snap percentage. And yeah, he's last week he was a big pickup for me, and he's still a pickup. I mean, he balled out last weekend. He went 4 for 5 for 88 yards and 2 TDs.
Yeah, to do
I
that,
mean,
and then one of them was a
that's a
long
pretty
TD.
great
He's got big play
right.
potential as a tight end, which we don't see a whole
Oh,
lot.
absolutely, dude, absolutely. And he's he's another one of those guys that is probably coming down. Like he probably won't be in the waiver wire much longer. And the sleeper app, he's 77% rostered. So I mean, he's could possibly be out there in a couple of in some leagues, but
basically get him if you can because he's
oh,
not.
absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's-
And if he's out there, and I know this is after the waiver wire, but I'm spending a decent amount of fab on him.
I would too.
Yeah,
Honestly, to have a tight end that you can rely on at all this
Right.
year, I'd spend a lot of fab on that. Just to
even
have someone that you don't have to continue hit the waiver wire. You don't have to wonder if he's going to have a goose egg or 2 points.
right.
Something that you know you can get 8 to 10 to 12.
Oh, absolutely.
Take
He's
that every
definitely
week.
getting those targets a game for
Right.
sure. And even if you do have a tight end that's been doing okay, and if you have an extra roster spot, pick him up. Use him
Right.
as a trade option.
Well,
Trade value for tight end is huge this year.
I know.
Absolutely. It's ginormous.
Right. So yeah, I agree. Like if you have a Tucker Craft, I'm more like higher on him than most people at the moment because I picked him up in 2 leagues. But I'm keeping him and I'm shipping Laporta off. I'm using Laporta's name as a trade deal because the Lions have so much talent on that offense. Like they have the best dynamic duo at running back, which I didn't think it was going to work out like it is, but they clearly have a system figured out. Amon-Ra is always going to be solid. Jameson Williams, I mean, you forget he comes from Alabama and the guy's faster than hell. It's just the offense has so much firepower where, unfortunately, Laporta's catching the bad end of it.
Yeah, shout out to Mark for taking Monty away from me this week.
Yeah, you should have a good game against Dallas.
Should.
Yeah, if Dallas can't stop the run like we have been struggling with for most of the year, they're gonna tear us apart.
Well, and
absolutely.
I mean, the Lions, I think, put points up on the board against anybody. Like,
absolutely,
yeah. I think they are a good offense.
Other than the Bucks, they put up points. The Bucks, the Bucks shut them down. It was just an odd game for them. They went. I think the if you go back and rewatch that game, the Lions went off script like what they normally do.
Bucks are winning that division, baby. Bucks are winning that division.
I would disagree and just say that the Bucks defense is good.
Well, yeah, the Bucks defense actually lost me a fantasy game, but we'll get away from that.
I'll throw one more tight end out there just for a streamer this week. If say everyone's picked up, I think Tyler Conklin of the New York Jets. Conklin, I can't say it. I think if you need someone to play this week and you don't have any tight ends, I'd pick him up and play him.
He's for sure points. I'll give you that. He's guaranteed points.
Yeah, and I'm not saying don't pick him up to plan to be your guy or whatever, but I mean he's their tight end. He's 92% snaps every single week. I mean he gets targets. I mean, like I said, like the wide receiver or the tight end market right now, the economy for him is ridiculous. So I mean, either you have a dude, or one of you don't have a dude, or one of you guys is hurt and buys have started. So that'd be my streaming tight end for the week for sure.
I do think that anything with the Jets is up in the air right now because there's no way that they won't have a run game all year. They have 2 explosive running backs. They need to get them the ball and screens more, involved in the passing game more. I think they will, and as soon as that happens, it's going to open up a lot of things as far as their run game. Once they're able to get their run game, once they're able to rely on their 2 good running backs, I think a lot of like the tight end work and things like that is going to cut down. Garrett Wilson had a career game last week.
His best game.
I don't think
his best game, yeah.
No, absolutely. I don't. He had 22 targets, which is insane. Mm-hmm. But they were just kind of
wild.
They were using him instead of as like a deep threat up the sidelines. They did it occasionally, but they're really just getting him the ball in the middle of the field and kind of letting him work a little bit, which I think. I think that's how you got to use Garrett Wilson now.
I like what they did with Garrett Wilson.
What's your guys' opinion to people that are out there and do have Garrett Wilson?
Don't sell.
Don't sell. Look, I'm not using myself as one. It's just
I think he's gonna be a lot better, and now that they are pushing the ball to him, I think that's great.
Yeah.
But I also would say that once they get their run game back, the other portions of their pass game will decline, and that's not.
And I don't think
because I think they're gonna have a little bit more success.
Yeah.
And I don't think Garrett Wilson's gonna do what he did this week. Most of the weeks, like you said, he had 22 targets, which is absolutely insane. But the Vikings have struggled a little bit and giving up points to wide receivers in fantasy this year. So I think he'll still be a steady. I still think Garrett Wilson will finish. Oh, absolutely! I think he'll finish the top 8 wide receiver.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's what I'm trying.
Hey, what happened? What happened that week?
If Garrett Wilson doesn't fumble,
doesn't matter.
Are you going to admit that it wasn't right?
No.
Yeah,
Dude, Patrick Surtain. If you guys want to sit someone every single week, whoever Patrick Surtain is gonna freaking get up against, just sit him.
I'm
The
yeah.
starting
dude,
to agree with that. I'm not gonna lie. I hated on it. I
the
Dude,
dude is ridiculous.
the first 3 weeks, I
I
can't remember his first 3 coverages, but it included Mike Evans. But his
it
first 3
was
weeks, he let up 30 receiving yards.
yeah, and against Mike Evans is insane. Mike Evans is just the most consistent wide receiver you can possibly
Dude,
get.
Mike
He's not
Evans,
Yeah,
gonna
a lot more
most of the time
physical.
he won't pop off unless he has touchdowns, but he will get you at least 10 because he just gets 10 receptions every game.
dude, you
Nice
know what
Baker's guy.
I'm looking forward to this
Um,
week is the Mike Evans Marshawn Lattimore matchup, dude. I look forward to that shit every year, dude. Every
I do
year,
too. They hate each
uh,
other.
hate each other, and it's
Mark,
my favorite shit.
Mark, let's hear let's go tight ends.
Mine was really I had Tucker Craft also because
Okay.
he should be picked up, but if he's not, obviously grab him. And another one is more of like a Conklin sort of name. It's Juwan Johnson from the Saints. Uh,
Okay, yeah.
if Taysom Hill's out, Juwan Johnson is like the tight end that's getting targets and stuff. He's not gonna
But
Derek Carr's out, but
yes,
that doesn't. I
Spencer
don't
Rattler, we have no idea.
right if they go with
Yeah,
Spencer
but the
Rattler.
nice thing for tight ends usually and a rookie quarterback is they're a good scapegoat a
Yeah,
lot of
see,
times
and
for
I
these
don't know if
rookie
that
quarterbacks.
affects the tight end, especially how little usage he usually gets. I don't know if it affects his numbers a ton. I mean, if Johnson gets in the end zone, he might give you 14 to 16, but if not, he's probably about a 5 to 8 guy. But just
Yeah.
if you're winning football games with your tight end usually scoring no points like we sort of have been, then your 5 to 8 is just a little, little cherry on top. But I do think he'll get targets, and if he squeaks in the end zone, he's gonna have a good game.
Also look out for
I
Zach
actually
Ertz.
this week I picked
Well,
up Rashid Shaheed
Rashid
because I
Shaheed.
love quarterbacks that have nothing to lose. Spencer Rattler is not going to take that starting position from Derek Carr as much as I think he might, as much as I think he should
Look
get an
good.
opportunity. I think that he has nothing to lose. He's going to go out there. He's going to sling it. He's going to try push the
Well,
ball downfield.
is he gonna start? I know
Yeah,
they.
he's
Yeah,
starting.
he's starting.
Oh, so they
Yeah,
ran
they
with
Yeah, he
the
came out
named
and
gainer
said
him
he was
guy.
today.
starting.
Yeah, I don't hate that either. I don't even necessarily think it takes away a ton from the Saints wide receivers. I mean, the offense as a whole, absolutely. But like you say, the guy's gonna sling the rock when he can. He's got to
Yeah,
because he's what's he got to lose? He's just gonna deep ball. He's got Rashid Shaheed for it. I mean, Olave is a good route runner.
Rashid Shaheed.
Uh,
I
I love
love
saying that,
picking up
dude.
wide receivers with a quarterback that has nothing to lose. He's going to just take a shot. People like the Drake May, the Bo Nix that have that starting position that they're working for, they're going to play a different game. They have to look fundamentally sound. They can't throw an interception.
well, I don't
People
know
are
if
going to
Drake
talk.
May has much to lose right now because we suck.
I'm just saying, you get what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
If
Yeah,
you
sorry, that
have
was
someone that
a
you know you're going to sit behind, it's kind of like the Joe Flacco. Like
Yeah.
what does he have to
So
lose? He's going to go out there and
as
he's
we're
going to
talking
sling
about
that.
as we're talking about Joe Flacco, perfect example. So my streamer of the week, if you just need if you need some dude, I wouldn't mind starting Joe Flacco this week. He's my waiver pickup a streamer for the week. He's just going out there and he's just slinging the ball, man.
well, it's Joe. It's
I
Joe
don't know.
Flacco, dog.
There's so many quarterbacks out there, man, that
He
I
had
don't know if you
29
can't
last
go.
week.
What?
He had
Yeah,
29
I'm just
he had
saying,
fantasy.
32
He
points last week, bro. He had 26 attempts his first week when he came in, but he only played a quarter of the game.
yeah.
And then this week when he started, the dude threw the ball 44 times. Don't get me wrong, it was against the Jaguars. The Jaguars they haven't looked the best. They are starting to I mean, your offense can look pretty good against the Jaguars, but he's just one of those guys. I think he's just going to go out there and he's going to sling the ball, especially if they don't have Jonathan Taylor playing right now. Trey Sermon didn't look great.
No, slow. Look
Um,
slow.
he looked slow. I mean, it's going to be harder because Michael Pittman did come down with that injury. So I mean, and which is better for Josh Downs. Josh Downs has looked
Dude, Josh
a
Downs
lot better.
looked good last week, Trapper.
Yeah, and they were huge on him in the preseason, in the offseason, not the preseason. This is the offseason. He was looking good at camp and things like that. So they're happy to have him come out and look great. But yeah, if and I totally agree. There should be other quarterbacks out there. I mean, I think probably Geno Smith is probably still there, and I would start Geno Smith any week that I needed to.
Well, Geno
But
Smith might be people's starting quarterback. He's like number 7 right now. Like
he's honestly just someone that needs to be rostered.
He's only 64% rostered in sleeper leagues.
Yeah, well, like Geno Smith, even last week, the Seahawks didn't have like a great like passing game. Geno Smith ended the game with 22 fantasy points. Like he didn't play
he had
horrible.
284 passing yards.
Like, but compared to like it just was
40
a
attempts.
silent, like it was a bad, like looked like a bad game.
Right. Yeah, and he finished QB9 of the week.
Yeah, I think he's a solid quarterback to even just play.
Right. Absolutely. No. Absolutely. Yeah.
My quarterback of the week for
I mean, Geno Smith is rank 11 right now.
Is he? He was 7 last week. But my quarterback of the week, just for this week in particular, is Caleb Williams coming off the big performance against the Panthers.
Yeah.
They play the Jaguars, and him and DJ Moore, if they can keep that stuff going. DJ Moore is a damn good wide receiver, like a wide receiver one on just about any NFL team he goes to. And if him and DJ Moore can get shit clicking, it's not like the Bears have some terrible offense. I think DeAndre Swift has overplayed his means lately, but he's an okay running back. And like they don't have they have Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, and DJ Moore. I think Caleb Williams can get things done against the Jaguars defense like that.
No, no, absolutely. He was he was my third stream of the week, other behind Geno. But I totally agree. I think any of the Bears players this week is a good potential to start.
Yeah, I agree. Even who's their tight end? Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet's
actually been good.
Yeah.
He started out rough. I think it was just Caleb Williams not pushing the ball, but he has become someone that he is that check down tight end like you like to have.
Yeah, and he's a deep play tight end too. Runs good routes for a tight end. Bigger guy. You can't really put a linebacker on him or safety sort of deal. Like a specific kind of guy to be able to cover. But also,
absolutely,
it is Caleb Williams, and the offensive line has looked poor. So I mean, you could argue every which way, but I think Caleb Williams will score you some points this week. Trap, you got a quarterback?
Yeah, no.
Quarterback? Not really. I know that quarterbacks are kind of hard. I'm also watching a video on my phone, so I'm sorry. Timmy finally sent it in the group chat. I know that Baker isn't rostered in every.
He fucking should be.
The Buck fan in me.
All right, we're moving on to defense. Look, I'm not going to deal with this Cowboys fan, and you're not going to turn into a Bucks fan like that. All right.
What do you mean? I've always been a Bucks fan.
I don't think Baker's probably not available in most leagues no more. He shouldn't be, but who knows?
Prepare a quarterback of the week. How's that? Is that a better answer?
He's the number 3 quarterback. But okay, in your defense, he's 80% rostered in the ESPN league. So
all right,
if he's there, run him.
Words, brother.
Yeah, run him. How about defense?
So my streamer defense of the week. Like I said last week, I'm a big guy on streaming defenses. I think I streamed the Broncos defense last week, and I think I'm going to go against my word, and I think I'll probably stick with the Broncos as long as they look good and they don't turn into what the Cleveland Browns were last year.
Well, if you could find a defense like the Browns to start every week just about, other than specific matchups, that's better than streaming a defense every week.
Oh, absolutely.
Those defenses aren't very often to be found.
Right.
This week, Eagles for sure.
Yeah, I'm running the Eagles. I found them on the waiver wire. I picked them up in 2. It was my first waiver claim. They're playing the Browns, and we've discussed the Browns already. And I think if you could pick up the Eagles, that's a solid start, or the Texans playing the Patriots.
Anytime a team's playing a poverty offense with a poverty coach, with a poverty franchise, you start them.
Yeah.
Dude, that's more than anything. They need to let Deshaun Watson start getting rub and tugs again, man.
Well, you know who the
backup's going on.
You know who the backup in Cleveland is? Who needs to start?
Yeah, boy.
Jameis motherfucking Winston, dog.
Dubs,
yeah, dude. Dub, baby.
I saw a funny thing, and it was like a meme. People sad, and it was Brown fans that were sad, and it was like Deshaun Watson going having a losing record. And then it was Browns fans like extremely happy, and it was like Jameis Winston still having a losing record.
Dude, at least he throws the ball down the field. He doesn't care. He's got confidence in his arm.
Nothing to lose.
Exactly. They have decent wide receiver options. He makes Amari Cooper better. When Njoku comes back, he makes him better. it's just the quarterback that has, like you say, nothing to lose. And Jameis has been like that his whole career. You let the guy
And
step
then
in and fling it, man.
not just the quarterback. What do the Browns have to lose, man? Like,
Yeah.
why don't they just throw him out there? What clearly
Well,
they have to change something.
Watson's making a lot of money, but
It's
at
got to
some
be
point
something.
you just can't care. You got to let Jameis run what Jameis does, man. Let him go 30 for 30. Who cares?
And if he
And
shits the bed,
please,
what do you didn't lose anything.
Right.
just please let him do an interview afterwards.
Yeah, that's all I
Yeah,
asked for. Or
absolutely.
yeah, dude, and my favorite stuff is when he hops on a podcast or something. He's like, "That's a dub. We gonna eat one
Let's
today."
go.
Like,
Yeah. So my streamer defense of the week, I'm gonna go against another they're playing another franchise that is kind of down in the dumps right now. I'm the my and they're not really a stream of the week. They're probably not available in most leagues, but is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're playing the Las Vegas Raiders. Stupid. Yeah, and the Raiders they came out the other day and said that they're having QB battles in practice
right, which is
during the week.
ridiculous going into week 6. It's absurd. You
It's
want
third. So you're not getting full team first reps, which is it's ridiculous, dude. So yeah, my like I said, they're 92% rostered in like sleeper leagues, and they're probably going to be rostered in most leagues. They're just a great defense, but I think they're going to put up a decent amount of points against the Raiders this week.
I agree, but 92% rostered. I mean, that's just telling people to start their normal defense.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but there's my stream of the week for sure on
Who's
defense.
the 8% of leagues that doesn't have them?
Oh, dude, you'd be
Dude,
surprised.
yeah,
I bet you in the women's league, Trapper, we can go through a lot of that crap.
That's true, dude. That league gives
The
me
girls'
my
league.
heart like sadness.
that makes me sad. But so just a quick parlay little deal that I told Timmy about this week. So when Garrett was in Vegas, I sent him a parlay 14 leg of who was all gonna win like each game, And I mean I missed a lot of them. I started off, I picked the Bucks, and then so I let my girlfriend pick, right, and she missed 2. She was 2 picks away from 43 G's.
Damn, that's wild.
Damn.
Yeah, so I had to work it up and grow some balls to tell her that, and so I'll never hear the end of it. But
Oh, you probably will not. My second pick of the week, and this was more like this is more realistic. Is I got the Bucks playing the Saints.
love it.
I just think anytime there's a new change in quarterback, especially a rookie quarterback, and I don't think Spencer Rattler is like complete garbage. I think that he's turned around a lot, but it's just starting a rookie quarterback in week 6, man.
Yeah.
The Bucks have everything figured out. They should have everything figured out. Their defense looks great. It's a divisional game. It's gonna be a tough game, anyways. But yeah,
Well, no,
and
like not to dig on you. You can't say it looks great. I mean the Falcons just threw for
okay.
500 yards on them, but it is a
Hey,
different thing.
hey,
I'm just
hey, settle down over there.
all right. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I'm just saying you can't say it looks great, but it is. I think a good start this week for defense wise.
Yeah, and they're 40% rostered.
My other one was the Bears playing the Jags. So the Bears have actually really good pass defense, like shutting down the pass. And then, I mean, I don't really know how good the Jags' run game is actually going to be if Bigsby's their better running back, ETN, with an injury, and if Bigsby's the only one running the football, if that's the only way the Jags can move the football is on the ground, then I think the Bears will be able to shut them down quite often. And then if they can't throw the ball, I would assume that comes with turnovers. So the Bears will get you some sort of points, or at least not get you negative points, which I've been having to deal with.
I also
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
the Bears their defense has looked great this
Right.
year.
Yeah,
Oh,
they have a good
they're fantastic for sure, and their
So
offense is starting
if
to look a
they're
lot
still
better.
available, that might be a start almost every week.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it just does kind of depend on their offense if they can get it going. But they look good. The offense, obviously, every offense is going to go through bugs in the beginning of the season. But Caleb Williams looked good last week against a bad team. But sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, no, it really
Just
is.
to
It
get-
could be a great
yeah,
jumpstart for him.
yeah.
Absolutely. So we're gonna go to the next section here. Is this gonna be our opinions and start and sit-ems this week? Like I said earlier, I think any wide receiver for the Bears, as we're talking about him, I think you start him. They're playing the Jags. DJ Moore looked great last week. The Caleb Williams has looked better and better the last couple of weeks.
Okay, but
And like you said,
if you say any wide receiver, I mean, you're.
not
So
not any wide receiver. I would just DJ Moore, Donze, I don't know about Keenan Allen really, man.
Well, as a flex, DJ Moore definitely in your wide receiver spots. Keenan Allen,
Uh,
it's tough. I mean, he just
Keenan Allen, yeah, I'm not sure. And I think Swift is starting to look a lot better too. And I think it's just a great matchup for him. And then you got Stephon Diggs. I think he's honestly been okay. Like
he's been
he
good.
really hasn't been. Yeah, he hasn't been bad. Like he's been putting up decent fantasy points, and especially with Nico Collins out, I think it's between him and Tank Dell. So another person would another. I think starting Tank Dell this week would be
Well, what if,
absolutely.
like I was saying, I mean, the one only positive thing on the Patriots is Christian Gonzalez, and if Christian
Yeah,
Gonzalez is just on Stephon Diggs the whole game, that might flip that upside down.
right. Or it's Schultz. I think that you brought up a good point there earlier, Trapper, and I think Schultz would be a great one. Absolutely. Like I said, I think they're just looking better. And then against the Jags, I think if Tank Bigsby, if Travis Etienne can't play because he did scrape a shoulder, they're the let's see, the Bears are 23rd against running backs in fantasy this year. So I think he has a big game. I think he has a big game even if ETN does play. Honestly,
Yeah, well, I don't know what the chances are of ETN playing. It does sound like that shoulder injury is a little more significant than what it's making it seem. But Tank Bigsby, if anybody's going to have a decent game on the Jags, and if he's the main guy, it'll probably be him. But Brian Thomas also surprisingly very good at wide receiver. So I don't hate
yeah,
to Bigsby start him.
I love Ryan Thomas. I'm glad I grabbed him.
My
Absolutely.
stardom's kind of just like I don't know. It's like if you're not starting them, I don't know what your roster looks like, but I do know there's some people in certain leagues that have like too many like sort of good players. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense, where they're rotating like. One guy has Garrett Wilson on the bench and has Marvin Harrison starting, like vice versa stuff. But my guy like that is Josh Jacobs this week, and they're playing the Cardinals. And Josh Jacobs with this offense on the Packers, Jordan Love coming back, I think it benefits him a ton. Josh Jacobs hasn't had like the significance like in the offense as of late, but this last weekend scored a touchdown, like better on the run, better in the pass game. So I think this week
Absolutely.
will probably be Josh Jacobs' a little bit of a breakout week. So if you're
Yeah.
debating on like having a rotation, I think you start Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, and I my big thing too is I thought the Packers were gonna have a split backfield. It looked like that for a little bit, but clearly not.
It was with Malik
It's Josh
Willis
Jacobs.
though. Jordan Love coming back
Yeah,
changes the whole game.
well, even a little bit before that. Yeah, but clearly not. Absolutely not.
I have
Um,
two stardoms for this week. One is Brees Hall. I think he's going to bounce back.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that against
I
Buffalo,
think
it's going to be a high
yeah,
scoring game. Buffalo has given up, I think it's the third, you can fact check me, most points to running backs
Yeah, I believe it.
all year. I think he's going to bounce back.
Yeah.
And then my second one is Chase Brown.
the Bills are actually last. They're the worst team against running backs. They
Oh, hey,
switched
Perfect.
Dallas.
Perfect.
so
Yeah.
even better.
Nice.
And then Chase Brown against the Giants. I think that he's going to have a touchdown. He's been looking good. They're using him in the red zone. And, I
Mhm.
mean, when you have a quarterback throwing for whatever Burrow threw
Yeah,
for
he went crazy. He definitely went crazy.
their-
And I think
their
Zach Moss
offense
is injured.
their offense finally stepped up and did their job. I mean, he's going to be decent
Yeah,
at least.
I think that's a good
Yeah.
start. I'm playing
Yeah,
against him this
definitely
week,
good
so I
start.
hate to agree with it, but he did good last week. Zach Moss is injured, and I mean, Chase Brown looks good. He has looked good in the preseason
I mean, he
and
had
the
12
offseason.
rushes last week.
Yeah,
It's just-
and his like benefit is in the passing game, I think, more than the rushing game.
oh, he's a great pass catcher. Absolutely.
Honestly, I think that even when Moss comes back, he may still be a starter. I don't know that Moss takes that spot back.
If anything,
Might
definitely
be
just a
early
split.
to say that, but
Well, no,
from
I
what-
agree. If anything, just definitely a split backfield, more of a
Yeah.
split backfield.
Yeah,
I just think that
absolutely.
he's looked too good. He's been running good. He's involved in the pass game. I don't see how you sit him.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree.
But all right, yeah, sounds good. Let's start to wrap things up. My favorite matchup for coming week, predictions of the week, and things like that. One of my things is I like the Falcons wide receivers against the Panthers. They're another team that this makes your offense look good. They've looked great last week against a decent Bucks team. I understand. This should be a divisional game too. Correct? Yeah. So yeah, yeah, that's my prediction for the week. I think it'll be a shootout. Not a shootout, but I think
like a certain team.
Go
Yeah.
for another 500,
Yeah.
500 yards again.
I think if you got anybody on the Cardinals and Packers game, those two offenses playing each other, it's almost safe to even Michael Wilson in a flex. I think Marvin Harrison has a good game. James Conner will have a good game. Everybody on the Packers, Romeo Doubs coming back should have a big game. Big game might be a stretch, but they're gonna have solid games. Christian Watson still on the bench. Josh Jacobs, Kraft. I don't think
Bro,
any of these
you
people are
guys
gonna
hear why
give you zeros.
Romeo Doubs didn't show up to practice last week? You just didn't care to tell him?
Well, yeah, he didn't like his usage in the pass game, which is another thing
Yeah,
that
so he just didn't show up to
you
practice.
might think they might get him the ball, but that's also don't do that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be scared. To people out there scared about what happened last week with Devontae or with Wicks is, the dude just struggled catching the ball. But there's times and like a bunch of wide receiver, like number one wide receiver, like Mike Evans had to struggle a little bit in the beginning of his year, just catching the ball. Wicks is an extremely great athlete, man. I mean, I wouldn't be worried about him at all. I would start him, every single week. If you pick them up.
With Watson out for sure. I agree. I think Wicks is a pretty good flex play. Jaden Reed though is a number one wide receiver.
I agree.
Oh, Jaden Reed, absolutely, yeah.
Not even just a wide receiver. They give him a lot of the fly play. They involve him in the run. Which
they want him to touch. They want him to touch the ball.
Wide receivers in the run game, but they do, and it seems to work.
Right. Well, one thing that I remember the pamphlet we needed to pass out to every football team last year is it says it's just one thing. Do you, if you're going to run an end around or a double reverse, and the only thing is, do you have Tyreek Hill? And if the answer is no, don't do it.
I would like to add someone to that.
Who is that?
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah. Okay. I can let that one slide. I can let that one slide. That guy's pretty fast. Chab, you got any predictions for the weekend?
My prediction is if I don't get a win and I start out 0-6, I'm going to drop all my players and not.
Are you 0-5?
I'm 0-5, brother.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I lost to Colin by 2 points.
Oh, the Molly Whoppers, dude.
I take on the Molly Whoppers this upcoming week. So I mean, stay tuned for a recap about it.
Last week was a good fantasy week for.
That's what we said, bro.
I went 3-0 in every single league.
Well, we said all the matchups look like good fantasy matchups. There's gonna be a lot of points scored, and there wasn't like a ton of teams this week in any of the fantasy leagues that I'm in that stayed below 100. And I'm not super sure with the matchups this week, but if I remember correctly, it kind of looks like another good week for just touchdowns, baby. Sundays and touchdowns
football
go together like peanut butter and ladies.
I would like to point out that I'm 0-5, but I have 150 more points scored against me this season than Timmy. I scored 160 one week and lost.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
160 is a lot.
So it's not like it's just bad luck. It really is.
And some injuries. So
definitely injuries. I've been trading them away though. Shout out Mark for taking my guys.
I got you. I can hold on to Cooper Kupp. I can do that.
I can't. I need.
Yeah. No, that's why I came to you, man. That's why I was asking you. I could help you out there. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
hopefully he comes back soon.
Is that just a little wrap up for week 6 of the Porch Beers podcast?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
So. Well, boys,
excited to see what we were wrong about this week.
Yeah, we're always looking for feedback. Let us know if we help or don't. I mean, I never help myself, so hopefully I can help somebody.
Just trust your gut, baby.
Yeah,
Timmy's a Cowboys fan. He listens to nobody. He still thinks that they're America's team.
America's team, baby.
Tune back in for week 7 next week. We'll see y'all later.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Porch Beer Sports Podcast. Follow and subscribe for weekly content.